Joining me here now on the Rich Eisen Show, getting set for a Monday night start in division against the Chicago Bears. He is the quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings, Josh Dobbs. How are you, Josh?
How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm better for having you on this program. I got to tell you, straight up, I don't usually say this to start interviews. I just love watching you play. It's straight up. It's just straight up. It looks like you play with a certain joy, Josh. I'm wondering if you could explain to me how you approach your business from that aspect of things.
Yeah, man. I love playing ball. I've been playing ball since I was 5, 6 years old. Obviously, the last first part of my career, I didn't get the same opportunities that a lot of people had to play ball out there. So just to go out there on that field, man, compete every single week is truly a blessing. And so I work hard every week to be prepared for the opportunities that I've been given with, and I'm blessed to be here in Minnesota with a great team around me, a great group of guys that are competitive, that love to go out there and compete as well. So, I just enjoy going out there on that field and just playing, letting everything hang, and then seeing where the chips fall at the end of the day, and then waking up the next day trying to improve and go out and do the same thing the next week.
Do you what do you owe your lack of opportunities? Why do you think it's taken a while for you to get more and more start opportunities in this league, Josh?
Yeah, I think when you're drafted behind a Hall of Fame quarterback, the opportunities are going to be difficult, especially with the level that Big Ben was playing at during my time in Pittsburgh. And obviously, he played 5 good years of football during my time. And so it was difficult to get on the field due to the nature of that situation. And then from there, leaving Pittsburgh, going to Cleveland last year, my goal really from that point was to get on the field and get an opportunity, no matter how I had to circumnavigate the league or how difficult the opportunity was. It was to get on the field, to go out there and play, just because I'd spent 5, 6 years watching a lot of people play ball. And at the end of the day, I wanted to see, hey, like, I feel like I can play really good football in the NFL. I feel like I'm a starting quarterback in the NFL, but I just need the opportunity. So went on a little merry-go-round last year in order to get an opportunity to start, and that's led to me being here in Minnesota with a tremendous opportunity this season with this team. So, yeah, I think just the nature of the situation I was drafted into played a part into my opportunity. But at the end of the day, man, like, I just try to control what I can control, and when I get those opportunities to go out and play good football.
I'm going to ask this straight up, Josh, and I don't know how often you're asked this, but I'll ask it anyway, and I'm interested in your answer. Do you think it's been at all held against you that you're smart? I'm serious, that in the league, you can't be all about ball or loving ball because you got a brain inside that head of yours, and that you may have other interests, that you can't be all in on ball because of that. Do you think that's at all the case, Josh?
I'm not going to say no, just because I don't know the conversations that occur when I'm not in the room.
Right.
I'll be honest, I have had, media members approach me and write articles saying I'm too smart to be an NFL quarterback, which seems a little backwards to me. And so I'm sure, like, it's a thought that teams like may have, but I think if you just ask anyone that's gotten a chance to get to know me, knows my track record, has seen me in the facility, sees how I work, and just seen the priority that football has in my life, they can speak to my work ethic and how much I truly love ball and going out there. And look, at the end of the day, the stuff that I'm interested in off the field, not a lot of people are also interested in that as well as play football. So it does bring a lot of attention to myself and my story. So I'm not oblivious to that. But how I love football, man, like, this game has had a tremendous impact on my life and blessed me with opportunities, obviously on the field, but also academically and in my other interests off the field that I wouldn't have if I wasn't an NFL quarterback or a starting quarterback at the University of Tennessee. So, look, I'm sure there might have been some discussion earlier in my career, but I think at this point, with the way I played, this season and the way I've taken advantage of the opportunities I've been given, like, I'm pretty sure I've kind of silenced that thought if it's been in anyone's mind.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that I should have mentioned it about your journey. Through your journey, clearly you have shown and you have proven, and you are doing that with your opportunities, plural, but it does take a certain sense of smarts to be good in this league, along with a physical skill set that you have seemingly coming out of your pores here, Josh. And there's so few people that could say, hey, how can you perform so well when you're just thrown into a situation like, say, hey, go try and win a playoff game for Tennessee, or hey, start a season for Arizona, or hey, get into a game when you're just fresh to Minnesota, and that you could literally say it's not rocket science and know what you mean when you say that, Josh. You know what I mean? Like, it's a rare combination you've got going on, right?
Without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. I know, look, in my time where I wasn't given the opportunity to start, I literally remember going through just about every single quarterback situation, seeing were they drafted to that team, were they the first round draft pick, or just studying the game, studying individuals, studying how guys got their opportunities, everything from a first round draft pick to an undrafted guy that been able to rise into a starting role in the National Football League. And so during that time, I was able to see like a lot of the guys, unless you were that first round draft pick, like they got one opportunity out there. And I was able to see what they did with that opportunity. And so I took a lot of notes. I acknowledged that, not being a first round draft pick, myself, that whatever opportunities I got, man, I was going to have to make the most of them, because you go out there on that field, you don't perform, man, like that might be the last opportunity you have to do what you love. So I prepared just like that. I work hard. I'm very diligent in my note taking and just how I take care of my body, but also how I prepare on the field, so that no matter the opportunity, the circumstance, the odds that may be stacked against me, I'll be prepared to look them all in the face and go out and still perform and play at a high level.
Vikings quarterback Josh Dobbs here on the Rich Eisen Show, getting set for Monday Night Football. Let's get to the here and now, starting with your acquisition by Minnesota. Were you at all involved, kept up to speed about the trade deadline conversation surrounding you, Josh?
No, it was a little crazy how it all happened, during my time in Arizona. Finished up the game in Baltimore, and then ended up getting traded right before the trade deadline on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And so I know like a lot has come about just with how everything went down in Arizona. I do want to say, like, I really enjoyed my time there, and I enjoyed my time with JG and Monty and Drew and Izzy and that entire staff. And I was thankful for that opportunity to go out and compete and be a day one starter in Arizona, because it's something that I dreamed of being. But I know when the trade deadline comes, it's all crazy. It's craziness. And so I didn't know what was going to happen. I knew Kyler's return was very imminent in Arizona. And so it just worked out, I guess, just with the timeline of the needs at the quarterback position here in Minnesota and what was going on with the team in Arizona, that an opportunity presented itself to come to Minnesota and be a part of the Vikings. And so it was crazy how it all went down. Obviously, from a non-football perspective, like life got crazier than it already was, moving from Cleveland to Arizona, then Arizona to Minnesota.
It's crazy. It is crazy.
But yeah, but it was another opportunity to grow and be able to continue being starting football in the National Football League. So I take it in stride. Like, I'm thankful to be here, honestly.
I was just asking to know if there was anybody other than Minnesota that was knocking on the door for you.
I think so. To my knowledge, I heard my agent had texted me, it was going to be between Minnesota and Cleveland. So that would have obviously been crazy, going back to Cleveland when you just left Cleveland to start the season.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm glad I ended up in Minnesota.
Obviously, you've got a playoff shot here. There's just no doubt about it. And the way that you're playing, clearly, your teammates are excited to have you. I mean, I love that video of you coming into the locker room after you won the first game you played. It wasn't your first start. You got thrown in there. And so my question for you, I have so many questions for you, Josh, but is it true Kevin O'Connell was in your ear up until the last second pre-snap, telling you about the play and also throw it here, you got a curl here, you got this there? Like, can you confirm that was actually happening in your first game with the Vikings?
I can't confirm. There was a lot of dialogue on the headset, a ton of dialogue, just going to that game, obviously with Jaron starting and Jaron getting the reps for the week.
Yes.
I had taken a call sheet of the game plan. I spent a lot of time with Grant, our assistant QB coach, and Chris, our QB coach, going through the call sheet and just saying, hey, like, this is what I'm comfortable with. If something happens, I have to go in the game. Here are the plays that I know and I can execute. Here are the stuff that's a little fuzzy in my mind, just with it being a new offense and no reps in it. And so, but when you get thrown in there in the second quarter, it's kind of like all hands are on deck and let's figure out any way to win this football game once you're out there. And so as I started to get a feel of the offense, get into a rhythm, we were installing some things on the sideline. Obviously, I had never had a chance to go through a 2-minute drill with the offense up until the last drive of the game. So we're installing 2 minute on the sideline, preparing for the situation. And so what was going on in the headset was like anything we just installed on the sideline, KOC would just remind me of whether it was like the play call or what communication said to the line, or just, hey, like here's a picture of the play. Like you have these routes on the right, this concept on the left, start your eyes here, and then just go play ball from there. So just like simple reminders that were very comforting to have. Not because I didn't know the play, but it just reassured me that what I called and what I was seeing in my head was, the actual thing that the receivers and the O-line was going to do. So, yeah, there was a ton of communication. It was a very unique situation. And so, obviously, when you win, it's cool to be able to tell the story of how we're able to conquer it.
Were there some guys, you don't have to confirm names, but were there some guys' names you did not know their full, complete names when you're out there playing?
At that point, I'll be honest. Yeah, there was a couple. There was a couple. It was a lot of information to try to get through in the first week. My first time saying the cadence to the starting line was unreal on the sideline video. And so we had some kinks we had to work out very quickly once we got into the live action, but we were able to overcome the lack of names known on the field.
Unbelievable. And I love your honesty. It's true, man. I would too, but I'm also older and I'm not a scientist either on all of this. But in one last question before you just turn the here and now, and I'll let you go on with your day. What was it like for you to walk in that locker room and they were waiting for you? You didn't know, obviously you were doing media and, O'Connell was talking to the team and the team was all fired up and they were waiting for you. What was that like for you? And your journey leading to that very moment in Minnesota, Josh?
Yeah, it was very surreal. Like I didn't know the situation I was walking into in Minnesota just because of how everything went down. In Arizona, like my mind, my headspace was there. And so to come, meet a new team, go through a week in the middle of the season as a quarterback where you have a routine, but now you're also trying to learn a new offense and learn new players, new teammates. And just get a new flow. Like there was a lot of emotions just throughout the week. And, I think like any player can speak on this. Like when you get traded to a new team, signed with a new team, or even when you're drafted, like the biggest thing you want to do is not let your new teammates down, right? You want to come in, make a good impression with your new teammates, and allow them to get to know you, who you are, your work ethic. But also when you come into a team that's rolling, that's on a 4-game win streak at that time, is playing really good football, and you come in as a quarterback, like the last thing you want to do is be the one to stop the train from moving in the direction it's moving. So it meant a lot to be able to come in and contribute and play the role I did, and be a good teammate to the guys that have been working so hard to play really good football here in Minnesota. So yeah, it was a very surreal moment. It's hard to win in the National Football League. It's even harder when the odds are stacked against you based on the circumstance. So to overcome all of that as a team, have those guys rally behind me and support me through it all, man, it was really cool to enjoy that moment with them.
So what is your approach to the final few weeks of this season? Again, you've got an opportunity with a team that is playoff material. They were last year, right? There's even a shot at the division. The Vikings have yet to play the Lions. You've got a big division game against Chicago. There's also, the future in Minnesota potentially could be yours, might not be. You might have to move again. So what is going through your mind, Josh Dobbs, for the last month and a half of this regular season?
Man, no pressure, right?
Yeah, that's the situation.
No, that's the situation. And so what's going through my mind is take it one day at a time. Put your best foot forward, prepare, because this is the greatest opportunity you've had thus far in your career. So no stone won't be turned over. My preparation and how I just approach each and every day will affect, obviously, how I play on game day. And so it's, as I've always done, make the most of the opportunity. But now how does that do that? And that's in my process and how I prepare to go out and play each and every Sunday. So Yeah, it's taking one day at a time. Obviously, the most important game is the next one against the Bears at home, division matchup. Huge game for us as we get back in our stadium, Monday Night Football. So it's the next one, but it's the biggest opportunity because it's the next one. And so I'm excited, man. Like, I'm excited for this opportunity. I'm excited to go out to compete with this team, my teammates. As you said, like, the ball's in our court each and every week. And so if we show up and play the football we know how to play, man, we'll be set up very well for a postseason run. But we got to handle business week in and week out.
Yeah, here's your short-term goal, if you don't mind. And as a thank you for you appearing on the show, I'll leave you with this, Josh Dobbs, because I love the photograph that you've put out there on your socials. Your dad has had fun with it too, right? The moment in the history of television, right, that you like to recreate from,
Yes.
The Fresh Prince, where you're standing in the room by yourself because you're moving a lot, right?
Yep.
So what you do is you make the playoffs. You get on the actual Will Smith's radar screen by taking on the Eagles and knocking them out, and you make Will Smith's life a little bit difficult. What do you think about that, Josh? Do you like that?
I love that. Let's make that happen.
I'm just trying to, you can do anything, man. That you've proven that. And I'll be unprofessional one last time. How do I get an Astro Dobbs hat like the one that you're wearing? How do I get one of those? How do we all get one of those here on our show? What do we do? What do we got?
AstroMerchPro.com is in my socials, in my bio.
Okay.
Just go on, click on it. You can snag one. It's a mom and pop business, so we'll say, we're not Amazon Prime with our shipping. Parents are at games and having to go home with our hats.
Okay.
So like literally today they're at home catching up on some orders from over the past couple weeks. But yeah, you can go snag you one. Rich, I'll send you one. You've been really.
It's for your foundation, Josh. It's for your foundation. It would be my honor to contribute. Now, I don't want it for free. I just want to know how to get one. Even though my sense of being part of the media, if it's free, it's me. I want to be. Your foundation is in support of who? What? Who is it in support of?
Extraordinary Dobbs Foundation is in support of all the areas that have supported me throughout my career, starting with Knoxville, Tennessee, Alpharetta, Georgia, where I'm from, Pittsburgh, where I was drafted, and obviously the cities keep adding as my career keeps growing. But man, it's just promoting STEM education in those fields. I've been blessed with a lot of support from those areas. I've been blessed, to meet people at NASA, meet those engineers. But it all started with my love and passion of STEM and aviation. And so promoting those to the areas that are underserved is a great mission of my foundation. And so I've appreciated all the support over the past couple of weeks from everyone who supported, man, bought hats, T-shirts, and stuff like that. And as I said, mom and dad are working hard to get everyone's orders out. But I would love to see you rocking one. Rich.
I will do that. I'm going to get for the whole crew here, obviously in support of that. And like I said, I love the Pastronaut nickname. I love everything that's going on for you. You deserve it, man. I'm thrilled to watch it, and I can't wait to see what you do Monday night and beyond. Thanks.
No doubt. Thanks for having me. Appreciate y'all.
You got it. That's Josh Dobbs at Josh_Dobbs1 to follow him on social media right here on The Rich Eisen Show. Catch The Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.